last week, no demos. We just watched, we looked at PRs instead. So today, +7, it's 9. Do we have demos? Do we have demos with a British accent?
It's not quite there yet, I'm afraid. I could demo something. I could demo something, but it's not quite ready yet.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I need to plug my headset, and I hope it won't disconnect. Can you still hear me? Can you hear
yes.
Me? Yeah. Thank you. Yes, because you can let me repeat that a long time. That's what I would do. So you are ready to do a demo that for something that is not ready.
Yeah. If there's time, if it's basically on the blocks editor again, still going with that. Came up with some interesting challenges.
Sure.
It's kind of getting there now.
You should share anything, even the challenges.
Okay.
So, demos, challenges, and we'll see what else. So status time. Orchard 1, a lot of work from Milan, Gabor, and Benedek. I see those PRs, I'm like, what are they doing? SQL stuff, merging imported such fields from recipes. These are not trivial changes. A lot of testing to do. Look at that. They make a new version of Orchard 1, Orchard 2. Okay, so good job, people. I will let you continue with that. Now, OrchardCore. Or anything you have to say, Gabor, about it? The progress you have been doing on Orchard 1, what's left to do? You hate your life, whatever.
No, we really want to release Orchard 1.11 as soon as we can. That would be the last version of Orchard, but we still have some minor stuff to add, but hope we can release it as soon as possible.
Awesome. Good job, thank you. OrchardCore. So last week we were there. I will point to there. And last week, the 2nd. So we didn't see that. Update ASP.NET Docker images in Dockerfile. So my headset tells me to recharge, but I'm plugged and it's charging, so it will bother me. I'm not sure if you can hear when my headset is talking to me and tells me to recharge the headset, but it's very annoying for me.
We can't hear it. Good,
at least. Update ASP.NET Core images. Oh, yeah, So it's an update to the update, right? Because we did something like this during triage, I believe. We looked together at the available images for the net 10. So they are updated now. Nick, it's merged.
Finally. Sorry about that. We got there in the end.
There's nothing to be sorry about. So you got something merged, which is awesome. New gallery. Let's just take a peek at the PR to see if there is a screenshot. MediaField editor. Yeah, it's just for the MediaField, so we can use the same media gallery picker.
It was just the additional editor, yeah, with the sort of the updated UI of it that I demoed. I think it's back in August, I think it was. So
that's why I wanted to open it again. And you created the PR on July 9th. And these screenshots, they look much better on the Mac than on the PC all the time. It's crazy. All rounded, all nice. Good job. Thank you. What were the last comments? And thanks, George, for reviewing. Is George here? George is not here. What's he doing? He has one thing to do, is join the Orchard meetings. Okay, so that, going back there, add missing docs for setup. Missing docs, API docs, updated API docs. Refreshed API docs. Ensure that the OpenID stores are persisted before response is sent. So this end, another commit that was merged in 3.0 branch, so the main branch, will be backported because there is flaky behavior that happens with OpenID, that sometimes the OpenID client will think that it's not the client. I think it's the redirect on the token thing, on the secret thing. What is that? Yeah, there is a redirect when the OpenID flow is happening, and both on the server side. And the second request will try to read a secret. What's the name of this thing? There is a property that the second request will try to read, but it's not yet in the database because it's starting to execute itself before the session of the first request is flushed. Or is committed, sorry, is committed. Okay, so to mitigate that, and without having to commit every single execution in the user store, because we don't want to do that for transaction reasons. So to prevent that, now there is this handler that will commit the thing before the next query, the next request can do something, because this is very specific to these endpoints. They start doing something when they get the status code, and they don't wait for the request to be ended. Oh, I got the 200 status code, so let's go on. And the server side hasn't flushed anything or hasn't committed the change. So this is part of the issue. The second part of the issue is that on Orchard 2.x, we use read uncommitted, and we should do read committed by default, which we do on main. So this is also a change we will backport, and that will fix this pair of fixes will fix the issue that they were seeing. Next, fix argument exception when creating an OpenID scope. I don't think it's related, but that's a fix. Update elastic Docker images. This one like every week, I believe. Other dependencies, AWS. Always the usual suspects. This one because of Parlot. All the actions. All the other actions. and some more actions, and the site generator, and this one, placeholder setting to content field. Oh yeah, that's a huge PR. It started with just one field and now everything has been updated. So this user, and I'm surprised to not see the new contributor. This user created a placeholder property in all the field settings and field editor settings that can accept a placeholder. Okay, so the idea is that to have some grade text, the placeholder in every text box you can have. And it is configurable. And this is just a text. It's not like templated text. But for localization, we may want to add this for supporting the dynamic translations feature eventually. So all the fields have been updated. So there is a new setting. So if you have custom fields, now you can also use this property in your own editors. That's it. Okay. Nick, show us something.
Okay, bear with 1 second. I'm just trying. Right. Hopefully everyone can see my screen okay. Okay. So yeah, so since last time we spoke, I've been looking at the BagPart and how we can kind of get that editor in into Orchard. One thing that I came up across was the way that we use it internally is we kind of have one BagPart that uses this blocks editor sort of at the parent level, and then any kind of BagParts, nested BagParts would always just use the BagPart normal editor. So what we kind of worked out is that because we're using this modal, it would then add all these bootstrap modals to the DOM. So if you've got lots of nested BagParts with the block editor attached, you would end up with lots and lots of bootstrap modals, which isn't really very efficient. So what I've done this week is kind of reworked it a bit like we got with the MediaField. So there's kind of one instance of the bootstrap modal, and then we've got a view app that kind of then renders what content types can be picked. So if I just go into create new page, I've kind of got this BagPart attached with a block editor assigned. So if I click on this, it'll kind of just pops up. Like I say, it's just one sort of modal. If I add this nested block with BagPart, we've got it in there, and then we've kind of got this BagPart inside it, which again I can click on that, because that one has its own content types that can be selected. As you can see here, we've only got the two content types that can be selected there, and kind of so on really. So that was kind of like the major hurdle we got over this week. One of the sort of improvements we've made is, I think we spoke about it in the past, was the text that appears in these buttons here. Obviously, we refer to it as blocks, but not everybody might want to include it associated with blocks. They may want to call it something different. So we've allowed people to customize the text that gets shown in the button, as well as the text that gets shown in the modal. So if we go into the design and we go into, I think this block page, wasn't it? I was on then. If we go into the BagPart that is attached, we can see it's got the editor of blocks. And when we select the editor of blocks, underneath it kind of gives us this two options to override the text if the user wants to. So by default, it says add block and select block for the modal title. So we can do, I don't know, add, maybe people prefer to call them elements or something, and then select element. Save that. If we go back into create a new one of those, you can see here now the text is now being customized to add elements and select element. Just again, it's just a little level of customization that might help when you're kind of working with different layers of BagParts, really. The other update I've kind of got is if you don't select an image, it just doesn't show an image in there, because again, you may not want to assign images to all your content types. These images, again, like we spoke about last time, this is just part of the content definition. So if I go into block quote, you can see we've got category, which could be, obviously we've got one that says quotes, and then the thumbnail underneath it. So if we just get the thumbnail out of there a second, save that, new one, go into there, you can see now that that image is not trying to be rendered. And the other update as well is we've added the description text in there as well. So again, if there is description text, it will show underneath. And yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Any questions, feedback?
Can we see the, what did I do? I can hear myself.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Sure. That's weird. Can we, what did I do? Can we see the image when we paste or have an image URL in the editor?
Editor? Yeah. So,
like a preview. That
yeah.
would be nice.
Oh, so what when you've actually pasted the
Yes, because otherwise you go back to this editor, you see there is an image, but you're like, what is this image? And you have to copy paste in the thing. Also, could there be a default value that is a static file in the site, in the admin theme or something that is the standard, like default thumbnail, like for nothing, you know, like some grade something, I don't know.
Actually this morning we had I had a kind of like a it was like a it was a little icon that appeared. Basically it was like a square block and it had a little square icon in the middle of it if you didn't provide an image. I just thought, I didn't know whether if people wanted to include images. So like, for instance, this way, if they just had, maybe it was a widget or if it was like a text box or something like that, or if maybe it was field elements, if they were building like some sort of form, they may not want to put images there. So if they didn't put an image in there, it wouldn't take up that much space on the UI, so the user could just quickly see it. But yeah, we can add a default image into there.
Yeah, I was thinking that they can then remove it if they don't want the default image, but at least they see what the default value is and they have a default thing, so it's consistent if you have images.
Okay, so I see what you're saying. So actually have like a default image already in there, and then they can delete it out if they don't want it. Okay.
Yeah, and because they can see what's there, they say, oh, that's the default one, let's remove it, and they delete it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, we can do that.
It's just my opinion, my idea. Maybe like 10 people will say, no, that's wrong. Or even 2 will say, no, that's wrong. And then I just brainstorming here. Well, that looks cool. I don't like models on models. One model is the max we can have.
Yeah. Again, you know, it's only, it was the nested side. So again, if you've added a content type that had another BagPart inside it, which is quite common, then we just wanted a way of making sure that modal would, it wouldn't, obviously we add loads of modals into the DOM, it would just slow the whole site down. So it doesn't do that now. It literally is one modal for all BagParts that get rendered to the screen.
That's nice.
So yeah, at the minute it's just applied to the like a BagPart editor. Again, I've kept it as a separate one, so it is a BagPart editor. It's only on the BagPart at the minute. I'm going to look at putting it on the FlowPart as well. So then that's an option there. So that's sort of the next thing I'll be working on. And then it'll be ready to PR then.
Okay. Should the default name be part? Add part in this UI. You called it block. I'm just wondering. Like, I don't remember what you said about customizing the name or not. You did something, so I will trust you. And
This bit, the button text.
yeah, because it's not widget. We don't want to use the term widget, but
no, it just said add block
okay.
by default.
Yeah, we just thought about should we can't change the source code, but we can change the UI. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Looks nice. That's the same thing, but there is some progress hidden. Like it's showing the same thing, but it's not the same thing.
No.
That's good. Cool.
A lot of work. I have spent a bit more time on it this week, and I've sort of been neglecting it last couple of weeks. So I'm back on it now, and I'll get it pushed through.
Should use Copilot, tell it what you want it to do, and it will do it for you.
Yes, true. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Claude has maybe helped out a little bit more than I would normally use. So yeah.
That's why you should use Copilot, because it will do a lot of things in a quick, short time. So
yeah.
That's nice. Awesome job. Thank you. I was actually thinking, like, what big task could we give Copilot, even in terms of UI, to do? And just saying that, I'm like thinking, like, should we tell it to convert all the view 2 to view 3? Because Jasmin started it, maybe we could just say, hey, Copilot, finish that, and it will do it. Or some things like that. Like, yeah, that would be something to see, to challenge Copilot. Even if it's not complete, maybe do like 90% of the job, and then we just have to polish and test. That could be something to try. If you have ideas, throw them to me, and we can try to file an issue, or file an issue with the good description. Yeah, sure, Tailwind, that's the challenge, right? But take a theme like the admin theme, all the views, and say, just put it to Tailwind with all the description we can provide, and see what it does. And if we are precise in what we want, and even some steps, we can do it in 2 phases also. Like, let's have a chat with Copilot to see if it can understand what it has to do, agree on the different steps to be able to reach the goal, and then paste the steps in the issue and assign it to Copilot, and I'm sure it will do it. I've seen it do things you can't even imagine. So now I'm like, it can do anything. It's crazy. Okay, thanks, Nick, for the demo. I will share again. Yeah, I don't want to see the results, because you will be like, what do I do now? What do I do? So OrchardCore, and then PRs. Do we want to look at PRs, issues, topics, questions? Just let me know if you think about something you want to talk about. Otherwise, I will just open some PRs to look at what's happening, if we need some help, to give some help, or if we need to talk about things. Oh, you see the plamco contributor. So that will be merged. These ones are usually easy, but the tests are pending. I don't know why. I don't know, maybe Antoine, you know what needs to be done for this one. If it's blocked, do we have to close and reopen, or do we just merge? What do you do usually? Looks good. So I will use my power, and people will tell me what's wrong with this PR, why it's not working. Oh, I used the D. Why did I? So sad. Branch deleted. 18 to go. Add docs page about contributing to OrchardCore.Net. Since the website repository is now open source. Gabor, do you know about it? Do you know what it is? Since the website's repository is now open source. Or maybe I just need to read the doc. Did you know that OrchardCore's official website is also an open source project? How to start? Yeah, I thought this one was always open source. It's just that we rarely do changes there because it's more about content than file system. What can you contribute? Okay, issue that list. Cool. This one we would need George to talk about it, or Wisham, or both. This one was interesting. We talked about it last week. Apparently, so we support uninstall methods, but we don't find them. So even if they are there, we don't run them because they don't have the same arguments and return types. So we could not find them the same way as we found the method like create or update, upgrade. I don't know. So uninstall needs its own special get uninstall method, and this one get create method. Let me check if it's doing the same thing. It's not doing the same thing here. Return, so this is return get create, get uninstall. Returns a task, so we need to await the result, the invocation, and there is no argument. And if it returns a void, then we don't await it, meaning it's not an async one. And get create. Go this way. Get create, look for create method name. Get uninstall. Where is the get update? I'm confused because before you could pass the get method and update, and get method now is gone. But where is the update going now? Or upgrade? What did I miss? George, we missed you.
Hi guys, I'm late.
Get update from method. So it was there, or it's a new one. Get update. Update from prefix. Or maybe I was just looking at the latest commit because this thing doesn't look like how it was before. Update from. All commits. I'm seeing all the commits, so I don't understand. Maybe the update from is not changed. Get method create. Get install. This looks good to me.
I missed it. Is this a PR that's merged? Because I have a PR locally that I started and I'm just doing some testing. Did somebody else do it?
That was the original PR that was started, that we reviewed the first time. That was wrong, and we commented on that, and we said,
okay.
Update it.
Okay. I'll close my PR, or I won't continue because I created a test and I changed it.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. I'll close it. I don't need to worry
So
about
this
it.
looks good, but yeah, George didn't review it, so I'm concerned. I will
No,
approve
just
it
go
and now.
for it.
I'm scared because maybe you will find something. You know, it's when you approve and someone else goes behind you and he's like, no, there are lots of issues. Why did you approve? And if it's me, you can say, you piece of shit. Why did you do that? It's wrong. But I think it looks good. Okay, I approved. We'll see what others have to say. Yeah, this one we said, George, that you were the one we jump to understand the thing. Too many comments. Maybe not here. That's your. No, that's nothing to do with that. I thought about
Which one?
the missing message shape.
Oh, the issue?
Yeah. Oh, it's an issue. It's not PR. Okay.
Yeah, it's an issue. I closed it.
Okay. We'll see later on Thursday.
Okay.
This one, nobody approved it. It's approved.
I
Let's merge it.
approved it, of course.
Okay,
I
thank
did.
you. So I need to merge it. I got 2 approvals there.
Yeah, there
And
was
now it's broken.
much conflict. Yeah.
Oh. Well, it looks like the CI is broken actually, because I will click on this button. And I think it's 2.1 now. I'm crazy, but I updated it. I saw this. I think, well, I will check because I'm a professional. I do things with like serious. Boom, I win. And market resolved, commit merge. So what's happening with these PRs? They are blocked on the CI with a running task. We saw the 2 tasks here, they were running, pending. So maybe something went wrong with GitHub. And I will say, when you want to click on something and it appears under your mouse, so enable confirm auto merge. So if it passes the test, it will merge automatically. And it is squash merge. Okay, good. This one, 22 comments. So I think we need to wait for Zoltan. Well, Zoltan is waiting for Ishan to do something. Okay. This is an old one. This is an old and also new one. And the rest we'll see. Yes, we'll see. And can't find the Vue.js 3 one. Didn't we have that one? Two. I thought Jasper had started a PR to update some views to Vue.js 3.
There was one very old one about the media gallery, which was auto-closed a few days or weeks ago.
So the media gallery?
Yeah,
so
I think so.
Okay.
Order by recently updated, then you will see it.
So media gallery. It's around there. So if we go there, oh, I saw JS app actually. So if we go there and go to assets and look at JS app, we have the media app, and that is Vue.js. How do we know if it's Vue.js? Vue. I'm pretty sure I wrote it, but I don't remember how it works. Okay, that's Vue.js 2, right? It's like super simple code.
Yeah, it's old. Yeah, it's Vue.js 2.
It's old, but very simple.
Yeah, it works.
So, well, there are more components there. 2 years. Okay. So can we understand, like we have file upload.js, this is the file upload component. It's nothing to do with Vue.js. It's a distinct component to handle the file uploads. We have a folder component, which is a view component. Okay. We have this component. Okay. Pager, table component. Nick is still here. Nick, are you familiar with these files or these components? Do you use them in your MediaField update? We lost Nick.
I've used them a bit. What's the question? What are we looking?
If you're familiar with these files,
Yeah.
And they are all Vue files, right? Or plain JS sometimes.
I think yeah, a lot of it's just initializing. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so and this is isolating the media module. So let's try something. Haiku is not bad, but this one will blow your mind. It blew mine actually, but I'm not sure yours, but mine, like, I will talk about it on Thursday for the people who join the Thursday meeting and show them what I've done with my project with it. It's amazing. It does things that I'm not able to do. Give me the time I need, give me the people I need, the help I need, I'm still not able to do something. And I gave it a task and it did it in 5 minutes. And I'm like, how does it do that? And it's crazy. So I'd like you to update the where is it? Oh, that's the folder here. The OrchardCore.Media module. Vue.js components in assets from Vue.js 2 to Vue.js 3 version that is also available in this repository. Which one is that? I don't have to say that. Update the related views in the views folder. Right, they're all in the views folder. We don't use these modules, these components outside of the views folder, in this repository at least, because we expose these as shapes or components in the views folder, but other modules, they don't talk to the media directly like this. So I think we just need to update these and everything else will just work. What we don't have is instructions to start and test visually the behavior. So that's sad, but we don't have that. So I think we should say to not try to do that. What we have is how to build the assets. That's very important. And I think this is documented. Where is that documented?
It's called Asset Manager.
Asset Manager, thank you. I need instructions also. Asset Manager. Okay, and this is correct, right? This is up to date.
Yeah, I've been using it recently.
Yeah,
thank you. So what I would just do is to build the source files and generate the final assets. Use this documentation. I just need to point to the URL and it will grasp everything from there. And you come up with a plan for this migration. Boom. So let's see how long it takes for it to just start some reasoning and understanding what's happening. If it was local, it would be quite quick. We can see live what it's thinking and analyzing. So let's see. Let me first explore the assets and views folder and also look at the assets manager documentation. Okay, easy, that's what I told you to do. Six references. So you see, will it watch the YouTube video from Lombiq? Dojo, it's finding documentation. Okay, current state, location, assets, JavaScript there, SCSS there, current view version 2.6.14 from package design. Okay, good, I didn't know, thank you. Views. You see, the views that use the view components. That's already better than what I said because it tells me these ones are the ones using the view component. So these are the ones that need to be updated. The plan, update package.json. Does it have to do that, do you think? Yes, because we have a no, or is it assets.json that needs to be updated and not that? You have to tell me, I don't know.
I'm not sure, but I think it's correct because it's the local assets of the module only.
So you say we should update the assets file or?
No, it's a package JSON.
Okay.
Or is it? I'm not sure.
Okay, so. Okay. Well, I pointed it to this documentation, so I should not even have to look at that. It knows. Now, the break-in changes. New view goes there. Okay. Component updates required. Ensure data function, replace filters. So now it knows what it needs to change in terms of break-in changes, and now it looks for where it has to change that in our source code. Okay? And where these things are used in our views, build process. Now, how to build the thing, install Node.js, the build command. Tell me if you think it's wrong, but watch whatever. I'm not sure it's needed for tasks like this. Testing checklist, media editor loads correctly, file, okay. So I don't think it will be able to test, that's sad. If we had instructions to actually start Orchard and navigate, that would be ideal. Like with the environment variables to set for auto setup. We just need the list of environment variables for auto setup and it will be able to do that. In the command line, because did you know actually that you can do .NET run and then do -e and foo equals bar to set environment variable for the running thing? We will need either the list of environment variable for the auto setup or an Aspire project that has everything ready and it just has to start that and it will start by itself correctly. Mike will do that. Migration steps, migrate, update, run build, test. We'd like to create a pull request. I don't think you will be able to start Orchard for test it. But in case you wants to try, we should use, what's the name? Auto.Setup, the Auto.Setup feature. Do we have Auto.Setup instructions here? Yeah, maybe it will just create an app settings.
Can't you just tell him to create a unit test? We have these more like integration tests using the set context.
Can we? But how will it know it works? Because it's a JavaScript that needs to run.
Yeah, sure.
So you need to see visually that when you click the button, it shows up and it lists the media.
That's true.
That's why I think we need to define steps on how to start Orchard with Auto.Setup correctly for testing. Visually, like the functional test we have, like formalize it in a document for LLM, and then we can feed it to it. Scrub in here. Boom. Play. And now it should say, okay, sure, good idea. And then here is the PR I'm starting. This is where you can follow my progress. And in 10 minutes, it's done. Well, it needs 3 or 4 minutes to build Orchard. So yes, I allow you to create a PR because I have the power. This is the whip. So this is a session, the actual session. So I can see the PR state with the description and all the things, the plan we defined. And what? No, I wanted haiku. No, I wanted Opus. I wanted Opus. Oh no, why? So much better. Oh, why did it pick this thing? I said Opus. No, I don't get it. It's not the same thing. This is good, but Opus is crazy good. Let's see. Okay, maybe we should give it a chance, but I hope it's wrong. But no, it's not. But Opus is expensive, but so good. It should be quick. There are like 4 files. They're all 100 lines of code each. So it's looking for other things using Vue.js, but I don't want it to look at it. Admin menu, resources. Is that true? Do we use that? Yeah, probably for the admin menu. Yeah, but I don't want it to update that. Just want to focus on media. I should have said it. I can still say it, but let's see. Maybe it's just looking to see what we do or to learn for later. Okay, now let's examine some key files to understand V2 pattern being used. You see, resources is already using Vue 3. Now let me explore the Vue component file and rate OK. So it looked at the JS files. It looked at the Vue files. Now, okay, now it's trying to see how to build the thing. That's bad. Okay. Maybe we should steer it. Asset manager. Oh. It found the documentation is actually on the site, right? So that's good. So it found the asset manager doc. Okay, I didn't have to paste it. I'm disappointed it didn't go on the website by itself first because I said it. Edit. Okay, that's the first step. It updates the view in the package.json, and now it's supposed to build the thing. It doesn't build yet. Okay, it's just trying. Okay, let's not build. It doesn't need to build. It just needs to update the things. This is view 2. Okay. What's comforting is that on the plan, it just lists the one in the media audio. Okay, so I don't think it will try to update the other ones. That can be a continuation, we say after. Build assets with yarn build -tr. Okay, so that's what it will try to do. And now it's starting to change. So I don't know view 3, but it's not calling view here. It's just an object. Same thing here. I just see HTML here. I'm confused. Maybe that's why then. It's just for the state, maybe. So much happened. Okay, view, edit. So it's converting all these files to just use a standard object. Okay, now that makes sense. Okay, it created the object without the view component, and now it says this is how it's registered. If anyone wants to leave, feel free to leave. Okay, I won't get offended if I'm alone in the meeting in the end, but I want to see progressing. Not much so far, just changing the view.component calls. Okay, now it's looking at specific changes. Okay, and it's clever. On, do something. So what will it do? Because it doesn't exist anymore, apparently. Select and delete media requested, select media requested. So it's like an event bus. Okay. Something emits some events and we listen to this events and we react. So this thing here was the thing there. Let's call it mount now. MediaField components are used within the MediaField app. Okay. So apparently it said it finished the translation. That would be too easy. This doesn't, it just looks like reorganization of the components, not the low level of the components itself. Apart from this thing, but I don't see how it changed that. Now it's saying, let's look at the views. In the meantime, you see file. So it committed all the changes in the PR. So we could go on the PR or look out for the files directly here while we see it. And there is the event bus. Okay, so it actually created the event bus. So it created an event bus. Where you can register a callback on an event, emit an event that will invoke the callback. So it's an event bus. Okay, let's create an event bus. Doesn't jQuery have an event bus like this? This is the refactoring we saw, the components. Same thing, same thing. Kind of the same thing, but creating an app instead. And then instead of assigning that thing, it says, let's push that, let's mount that. And the rest. So it created an event bus. Interesting. And I believe it kept the same names just for compatibility with the things that are currently emitting the events. Okay, it said it checked everything. No resolve views has view initialization. Now I need to build the assets. Check if yarn is available. It is available. Install dependencies. So the newer yarn. Maybe it can't update yarn. Maybe it can. Find assets or gulp.json for media module. Find assets.json or gulp assets. It found gulp assets. Okay. Which says all these things. Plus the upload module. Build is running. Seems to have completed. Let me check the status and look for the media module output. Interestingly, it's looking for the whole Orchard Core folder. So we should have a media.js file updated with all the changes. It's kind of slow. Maybe the worker that is assigned is a slow machine, because these things usually take like seconds. Okay, it's done. So let's see what it's doing, what it did, sorry. I will go on the PR, I will pick the PR number, and I will check it out. I will delete any existing site, and I will run it. So it went back on the files to add some code comments and then rebuilt the assets. But I don't care, I won't update because I don't need these comments. So it should work the same, but there should be a different commit after that. .NET run -- no build. Why? Don't we have just one framework now? What did I do? Now the hard thing, where is the media gallery? Because Mike moved it and I'm completely lost. Oh, it's there. Well, didn't work. So sad. View.create app is not a function like it's using View2. That's what I think. It didn't update the resource required with the version. I believe that's it. Views. What view? Admin view. Maybe this component. Maybe this component. Script. Where do we say we need Vue.js version 2? Here, something like that. This is something like that that I need. Let's have it for the media.
You can declare dependencies in the resource stuff, can't you? I don't know if that's where Vue 2 is coming. Yeah, in where I can't see the file on there. It is resource manifest. Oh no, not that one.
Or to declare is a custom resource, and that's where it will be defined. And then we don't import Vue, but we import media something, I think.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, I think it's that in there.
Okay.
That file.
Media depends on Vue 2. That's bad. The model is bad. He didn't find it. Should have known. So we'll keep everything the same. We just say media depends on Vue.js 3 now.
And there's a Vue draggable 2 there as well, which I don't know.
Oh, I see. It's a different.
I don't know. I'm just.
Yeah, maybe there is an update version for that, but I don't think we updated it in terms of packages with requirements.
Yeah.
So I will keep it this way. And what needs to be done is a rebuild of the component here. So here. Should be quicker because I just updated one module. same thing. It's Vue.js2 still. So it's picking that from somewhere. Control F5, there is no cache. Vue.js. There is no Vue.js here. Vue. Here. Resources, scripts, vendor, view to. This is Vue 3 here that is loaded. So this is probably why our change is there, but we still have something that depends on Vue 2. And then it's loading Vue 2 and probably overriding something. So
it's probably the Vue draggable.
Yeah, that has a dependency on Vue 2, so it imports then Vue 2. So, and probably that's something that Jasper mentioned. Like we also need to update this one. So if you look at Vue draggable, so sad. Vue draggable. The last release was 2020 with a 2.24.3. So not confident with Vue draggable. 224.3, which is the one we're using. There is no new thing. I don't know what Vue draggable is, but probably the drag stuff. So you know what? That's a challenge for Copilot. I will tell it to Copilot, and it's been too long already. So sadly it didn't work on the first try, but yeah. So sad. So let's give it as some feedback. And it will do that for sure. So what did we see in here? Three. Okay, so update to Vue.js 3 in the resource file. Replace Vue draggable 2 by something else. I don't know. Impress me and update the thing. So I will let it cook, and we'll come back to it with what it finds out, what it does. Okay, it will update the PR and give us feedback directly there. But at least it did something. So you see the comment I added in the chat here. It added it in the comments. Copilot acknowledged it, and it should do its work, do the magic. It will have to build Orchard for sure. Well, it doesn't have to. It can just do the changes, and we'll test it because we told it not to test. We need to come with a way for it to test, because if it can test, it will find that it didn't work. And if it finds it didn't work, it will like, okay, it will find that it's still using Vue 2, and maybe it will have found the file and updated it by itself. It does that, so that's why we should have these instructions to close the loop, so it can take the feedback loop itself and go on. That's it. Thanks for staying with me. See you soon on Thursday, for instance. Bye-bye.
See you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.